Hello, everybody. Have you ever thought of something like this? How different are the perceptions of the same topic between an experienced teacher and a student in the progress of learning to be a teacher? I am Melissa Navarro Correa, a student of UPB University, and today we are going to hear some perspectives relating to curricular guidelines in English. Putting you in context, the world is changing, and I'm sure that you are involved with those one. But let's think a little in the English education in Colombia. The question that we are going to develop is the following one. How can we update the curricular guidelines and the foreign language standards to reflect the new language ecologies our students are facing inside and outside of the classroom regarding English and really be up to date with the new suggestions for the curriculum? Interesting, right? Okay, let's start. We have the pleasure to hear Professor Marta Patricia Ferreiro Melo. She is a teacher of Universidad Pontificia Bolivariana, and we are going to hear what she thinks about this debatable question.
Hi, I'd like to answer this question from a classroom-based perspective rather than from a nationwide foreign language policy. I feel teachers can make a difference with their students in their own English classrooms, and that change might affect their lives in a positive way as well as the various contexts where they'll interact. As Zhao proposes, teachers must become active participants and their classrooms must become an open space for experimentation and transformation of policy. Classrooms embracing practices that foster individualism, critical thinking, and self-expression in order to allow its stakeholders to reshape and reconstruct their identities and discourse from informed political, social, and historical dimensions, viewing others and their target language culture as means for both personal and professional growth. I also agree with Scanab Kangas regarding the political role that English teachers should play. They should comprehend what the current situation is about, what the consequences of today's education are, and how to address the issues, approaches, and opportunities that result from contemporary global challenges. Such interpretation of reality should allow them, teachers, to provide students with opportunities to reach educational goals such as academic achievement, positive attitude towards self and others, awareness and competence for working for a fair world, for oneself and one's own group, as well as others locally and globally. Thank you.
Student Melissa Navarro Correa. Considering what the standard mentioned about English, this language has become an important one in the world. And in Colombia, students learn it because it is necessary that they could have intercultural communication with other people. Also, this era brings new scientific progress. However, the students are facing new changes around the world. As we know, English here is thought considering the Common European Framework of Reference. But this one can be debatable knowing that here in America we have a different context that many times is not adaptable with Colombia. But why? Beginning with that, as we know, Common European Framework of Reference is linked with Decree 3870 of 2006, in which the main purpose is education for work. It is a problem that here in Colombia we want to adapt it when in many countries of Europe the purpose many times is not the same, because there in some places exists the state education. It means that education is paid by the state, and that doesn't happen here. If people want to survive, saying in some way, they need to study with the aim of thinking that they are going to work for the rest of their life. Those curricular guidelines can be outdated if we consider as the important part the context in which we are, in which teachers or students could follow the teaching and learning of the language of English, in which the things that mentioned there could be applicable to this context. For example, one thing that cannot be applicable to this context is that, taking into account the range of A1 until C2, the standards say that students must have a certain level for a certain grade. Also, a vocabulary control, a vocabulary range, general linguistic range. That thing doesn't happen here in Colombia, because in our context exists the problem that many students doesn't have access to internet. Even it's hard to many students in rural areas to move to schools, because there are problems of mobilization, streets in which they cannot walk or move to go there. Now, how can we update it? Thinking of new methodologies applicable to our context, in which all students, not only a few, could have access to education. In this way, that they could learn the language of English as a foreign language if they're in elementary school, or as a second language if they're in a college, in which teachers could give to the students the necessary hours to share their knowledge. After listening those two perspectives, we can conclude that both are agreeing in the aspect that content is important. However, the professor with experience emphasized her discourse in the teacher as an active participant, while the student is focused in to include a new methodology to the change of the world the students are facing. Think about it. What is your perspective? Bye.